So I'm going to perform and teach Parivrtta Janu Sirsasana. That is the pose of the head in the direction of the knee with a twist. So we are going to see the pose first in the classical way. So first of all, you are going to create a twist in the direction of the bent leg. And after create this twist, you are going to extend the lower side of the spine and extend the arm 45 degrees first, and then going to bend the elbow and catch the inner arch of the foot. After that, you are going to create the movement of the lower arm, the one that is touching the floor and elbow, away from the straight leg, and in the same time, the bent leg is going backward and rotating out. The sitting bone on the back leg is lifted up in such a way that you can create a greater extension in the upper part of the chest. The lower side of the chest is going longer as well. So we are going to catch the outer border of the front foot, and then in the moment that you are opening the elbows, the back leg is going to move still backward and rotating out. In the last point, your head is going to move like Urdhva Dhanurasana in the direction of the shin. Possibility of simplification. You are just using a belt on the arch of the foot, long. So you are placing the belt as a double handle. First of all, you are catching this belt with one hand only, and you are creating the similar twist as we did before. When you are placing the elbow on the floor, 45 degrees, the bent leg is moving again backward and rotating out. So there is the front leg is moving into the hip socket in such a way the lower side of the chest is going longer. The back sitting bone is lifting still more in this moment in such a way, still more, there is the increasing of the extension of the lower side of the chest. Then the head is going back in the direction of the shin. You are catching now the handles in two different points, and then you have more space to open the arms. So there is a little bit more freedom if it's necessary. As you can see now, I'm using other kind of support. I place the fold blanket in such a way, I give him the possibility to lift the hips and the bent leg. One bolster will be diagonal shape, like a slide, in such a way now I will have something to press against my arm. This is giving two things. One is the pressure of the arm, that it will be made easier, and one is the bolster will be like a railway for my side of the chest. In such a way, it will be easier for the side of the chest, the lower side of the chest, become longer and move in the direction of the front foot. As last, I'm going to place the bolster as support for the neck. The belt will be used like before. As you can see, I'm repeating the same action of the classical pose. The belt as the second variation. And now the arm that is down, that is my left, have the space to press against the bolster. The bolster, the lower one, is giving me the chance to extend easily the lower side of the chest, and my neck is completely supported. So I can do the action of Urdhva Dhanurasana in such a way that there is no tension in the neck. In this variation, it is easier to stay in the pose, breathe in the pose, and have the possibility really to touch the point that you want to extend, spread, and feel deeply the effect. As you can see here, the equipment is more complex. You have more props. One chair is to support the hip and to lift the sitting bone in relation with the bent leg, and in the same time to completely support the thigh, the bent thigh. as I'm going to show you. One sitting bone will be on the border of the chair, the other part of the hip will be out, and the bent leg, the outer border, will be completely on the border of the chair in such a way that it is easier to understand the outer rotation of the thigh. The foot will be elevated in some extra support that, as you can see, is a brick. We placed also a piece of sticky mat on the top in such a way there is not the sliding condition of the foot, and also there is a little soft condition in such a way the bone of the foot is not feeling pressure or the person is not feeling pain. So when you are going instead to place the leg in the final pose condition, the straight one, as you can see, I place the bolster, or in this case it's not a bolster but is a roll blanket, but could be also a bolster, in such a way the shin or the back knee can be supported to avoid the tendency of hyperextension of the knee. The bolster will be used, the first one and the second one, as the previous version. So the first one is longwise the side of the chest, so it will be used like railway for the side of the chest and the arm that is touching the bolster. And instead the second bolster, as we did already before, will be used to support your neck and your back scale. The other arm is going to catch the handle as well, a little bit more far, in such a way that it is easier to create the rotation of the chest. Benefit of the pose is giving a good extension of the spine. There is an overextension in one side of the chest, and anyways also the lower side of the chest is extended. This creates also a good space in the frontal organs, abdominal organs. The tendency of many students is to keep the hips in line. So if the hips are in line and you are trying to approach the pose, you will notice that it's not possible to extend really the lower side of the chest, but there is a kind of bending condition in the middle point between the lower back and the thoracic spine, instead to extend really the lower part of the chest. So the ribs have difficulties to lift and move away from the hips girdle to the armpit really. So see if the hips are straight, so they are not moving, what happened. And now look if I'm lifting the back sitting bone and moving the bent leg still back. You see the difference. Other thing, I was explaining what about the bent leg. Many people have the tendency to rotate front. So the body is moving in one direction and the bent leg is following that direction. So the sitting bone lifts, but also the thigh is going in the direction of all the body. So there is not any resistance in the lower part of the body. Now watch. If I'm moving the leg back plus the outer rotation. So there is more extension in the lower side of the chest, there is more possibility to twist, and in the same time, there is not any compression in the knee. Classical pose. You are going to take directly the inner part of the foot, then you extend the arm, and then you are placing the other just in opposite condition. So the position of your spine will be like Janu Sirsasana, with the collarbone parallel to the front foot, parallel to the floor. So first create the extension with the both sides of the chest parallel to each other, up, the collarbone parallel to the front foot, and then with the next exhalation, you are creating both the actions in the same time, or moving the front femur into the hip socket, the bent leg moving back and rotating out. And repeating again. Going back to the previous step. And then you can see again, as I'm moving the front femur into the hip socket, the bent leg is going to move as much as possible far away, rotating out, with the back sitting bone still lifted up.